Okay, so there's some videos and posts floating around the internet that are making some pretty wild accusations about me, specifically that I'm compromising the gospel, participating in darkness, and exploiting Christians for money. Now, those are all very serious charges and rather far from the truth as far as I'm concerned in terms of my day-to-day life and the truth of these situations. Last night, me and my wife were just talking about the summit that's coming up next week. And it's all primarily around the summit and the lineup of the summit and the VIP tickets to the summit. So we're going to unpack all of that very surgically. But last night, me and my wife were hanging out and having a conversation internally of like, hey, man, there's a lot of expenses coming up with this thing. And we're working with different funders and different people, and we'll likely take another financial loss on it. But the narrative within some pockets of the internet is that this is some massive money-making scheme for me. And the reality is it's not. Live events, generally speaking, don't make a lot of money, especially at this scale, especially at a place like the Seabird. And I'll unpack all of the math for that in a second. But first, let me just address this accusation that I'm compromising the gospel. This is primarily because we initially had Michael Knowles slated to do an armchair discussion with Gavin Ortlund on the differences between Catholicism and Protestants, right? And by the way, the whole schedule is online. You guys can check it all out for the Blessed God Summit. Now, here's something very fascinating about this, is that the way this is framed is that Michael Knowles was doing some sort of keynote or doing some sort of sermon at the event. He wasn't. This has been well known within our own community for a while. We've been talking about this for months. And Michael Knowles is actually not attending the event because he had something come up at the White House and they had to end up canceling with us because they can't, say no to the White House, which is fair. So Michael Knowles is actually going to be replaced by Trent Horn and my friend Josh Nadeau. This idea that sharing the stage with someone equals an endorsement of everything they believe or an endorsement of quote unquote evil deeds, I think is absolutely asinine. A public disagreement is not endorsement. A moderated conversation on the theological differences is not ecclesial unity. If sharing a platform equals endorsement, then every apologist who debates an atheist is endorsing atheism. And by the way, we're going to have Jacob Hansen, who's a LDS apologist, debating God logic on the Trinity. We're also going to have a panel with Dr. Sean McDowell and Jared Smith, who's an atheist. By that logic, we would be endorsing atheism and LDS. And that's not what's happening. And the second point that I want to get into is this idea that this is about greed. This is about me trying to make a fortune or the artist trying to make a fortune, the speaker's trying to make a fortune. That is not true. Okay, so let me break down just some of the math on this. Okay, so if you guys were paying attention, those of you guys that went to the Blessed God Summit, we're doing two things. One, we're doing an outdoor amphitheater concert out here on the finale night. And then two, we are at the Seabird Resort. Now, this is not a church conference. This is not a church service. This is at a premium resort on the beach in Oceanside, at a very nice place. Now, why do we do this at a very nice place? Well, because we don't want to be connected to any specific church. My home church is not big enough to do it, and we wanted to have a neutral ground for people to participate. We also know that so many people honestly are never going to take any sort of time away, do any sort of vacation for themselves, and we figure, hey, if we can do a summit and they could double down as a vacation, this is actually really good for many people to recharge and to go to a nice event. So having said that, when you understand what the Seabird is, it is a luxury resort property. You will quickly know, anyone that's ever done events, the venue alone is costing us six figures, well into the six figures, okay? That's just for the venue, okay? That's not counting the production that goes into this, meaning audio, video, for two stages, mind you. So we have this venue and then the finale, which is a free concert, where's the Oceanside Amphitheater. Then we have this on Saturday night, which, by the way, you guys are all invited to, totally free. If you're anywhere near Southern California, come get your come hang out with us. There's no tickets. You just RSVP on Eventbrite. It helps us know how many people. So that's not counting the production for two different stages. One is outdoors. That's not counting the staff. That's not counting me personally maxing out all of my Delta, American, and Southwest miles to get speakers there. That's not counting insurance. And that's not counting the meals that are going to be provided for the VIPs. Now, some people are like, hey, Ruslan, why are you charging so much for the VIP tickets? I think they were $700 or $600. We sold out. It's a premium price. Well, what's left out of this is that we last year gave away over 100 free scholarships to folks who couldn't come because of finances. So that's 100 families from all over the country, folks that were like, hey, I can get myself there, I just can't afford this final price. So the VIP pretty much all of it offsets the 100 plus free tickets that we give out. Many of these critiques and many of these takedown videos omit this detail. And that's the question to me, generally speaking, is like, omission is a lie. Like, if you're omitting that what we're doing here is we have a premium tier of people that are willing to pay more because they know that we give out 100 plus tickets. That's significant. That matters. So what people are paying for on the VIP side is they understand that some of that funds is going towards the 100 free scholarships. That's offsetting our expenses. They're also getting some VIP meals. They're also getting like a goodie bag. Last year, personally, when we did this event, we did it at the Westin, which is, again, another nice resort. I personally lost nearly $40,000. And looking at the numbers this year, I'll likely lose money again. I might even have to dip into my own personal savings to pull all this off, because there's a bunch of expenses that come up when you're dealing with the city, when you're dealing with police who need to be at a public outdoor event, when you're dealing with needing to add proper power to power all the equipment. All of that costs a lot of money. So last year I lost money, likely will lose money again. There's also left out that kids under 8 are free, which is, those are seats and those are food that folks are gonna have, right? And so this is not something that is a moneymaker for me. Last year was not a moneymaker for me. This is not a moneymaker for me. I am not paid to do this event, okay? I don't make money off of this event. We lose money off of this event. We lose money off of this event because I believe in the power of live events, and I believe in then getting people together, building community, having a place for the speakers to come and also be recharged, poured into. That is important for me. And so this is not a money-making thing. I think people think that I'm getting rich off of this. I'm not. I'm losing money off of this. I explained all of this last year, and every single year there's another series of takedown videos that are just honestly ignorant. They refuse to actually reach out or tell the full story, which is the 100 plus people that are getting free tickets, which is, hey, we priced the VIP because people want it. And by the way, that's the first thing that's sold out. There's also been some controversy of, why are you charging for a meet and greet? Here's the thing, and I'm gonna show you guys proof of this in a second with some testimonials from last year. Anyone who came to the event last year, anyone that's ever came to anything I've been at will tell you that specifically last year was one large 3-day big meet and greet. That we don't hide out in the green rooms, that I've never hid out in the green room, I've never avoided people. I end up meeting as many people as I can. In the VIP, there is a opportunity to hang out with me and chat in a separate area, right? Do like a Q&A type of thing. And last year, people loved it. It was like over 100 people that wanted to hang out, wanted to get their picture. At an event like this, where there's gonna be well over 500, probably 600 people here. At an event like this, I can't meet every single person. And so we give people, hey, I want to pay extra. I understand that you guys are bringing out families and helping other people get there that can't get there. And I'd like to have some time to hang out with Ruslan. That's what that's for. You're not paying to meet me. I'm there. Anyone can meet me. Anyone can meet pretty much any of the speakers. They're walking around. So you're not paying to meet anybody. It's a separate earmark thing that gives the people who pay VIP to hang out, okay? So this subsidizes the families who attend for free. That's not partiality. That's how these events get funded. And people will bring up James 2 and talking about favoritism inside the church and giving spiritual preference to the wealthy. This is not a church service, okay? This is not a church service. It's a ticketed event at a private venue. That's what's happening here. We're not prioritizing those with funds to be without those with funds. Anybody can come up and meet people here. And so that's the reality of this event. So again, just to go over the numbers, you're talking a 6-figure venue. You're talking a lot in AV and lights. You're talking about flights for everybody. You're talking about additional food, additional snacks. You're talking about bringing in additional electricity, which we have to do. We're talking about uniformed police officers for the outdoor festival that we're doing, which, by the way, again, I'm doing a free festival with Jake, Indie Tribe, and KB. Okay, there's certain expenses they have where they can't, they can't not pay their sound guys and the people that are coming out to run their light rigs or whatever. So there's some expenses that we have to occur there. And by the way, the beautiful part about this is almost every single person that's doing this event is doing it as a favor, or is doing it as a trade, or is doing it at a very reduced rate, and no speaker has asked for any specific payment on this. And so the funny part about all this is I responded to all of this. I've responded to all this last year, explaining all of this, right? I responded to someone that posted this on X and gave an explanation. I saw other people explaining, screen shooting my explanation. And I've explained this constantly gets pulled up. Videos from 5 or 6 years ago where I was doing business advice and coaching for aspiring Christian rappers. This always gets plucked out, ignoring the context of one, how old those videos are. Clearly, I look very different. I got long hair in some of them. Some of them are as old as pre-pandemic. Secondly, that I was not making ministry content. I was specifically helping Christian rappers on how to monetize their audiences so they can make a living off of what they love to do, which that's not Christian exploitation. That's empowering artists to figure out ways to structure their businesses so that they're not harming their families by traveling and being gone and sacrificing without any sort of reimbursement for their funds. That's what those videos are for. And people know this, yet every time we do something you don't like, there's a constant rehashing of this sort of stuff. And the sad part is that all of this has been available publicly online. Last year I addressed this, right? And the people that are making this video don't reach out for clarification and they don't tell the full story. And so my question is, if you're leaving out material facts that change the entire framing, to simplify this, this is what manipulates perception of a situation like this. I think it's intentional. I think there are some people that just don't like me. They don't like that, hey, Ruslan will sit with people he disagree with. Ruslan will sit with a Carl Lentz. Ruslan would sit with this person. And so because they don't like me, they're then reverse engineering a conclusion on their mind. And it's really just one big appeal to motive fallacy while being so wrong from the actual reality, especially around this event, on the finances of this event, that I'm losing money on this event. Likely, yet again, I'll be ecstatic if we break even. And by breaking even, that'll be the day of the event people show up. So this event is going to be awesome. It's going to be a huge blessing for people. But you can't omit the reality of what's happening here because you don't want to research the facts and then present a misrepresented picture of what's happening. Like this matters. This sort of stuff matters, right? If you're going to be about calling out dishonesty and calling out the things you don't like in these false churches, how are you going to be dishonest and omit details while you're doing these things, right? So again, year-old clips from business coaching content before I produced any ministry content is not the smoking gun you think it is. This just collapses the categories into distinguishment, into context, into narrative building. And that's, in my opinion, where it is at the end of the day. So let me be clear. Guarding the gospel matters. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this event. That's why we have conversations on the Trinity, a debate on the Trinity. That's why we're having a conversation on the differences between Catholicism and Eastern Orthodoxy. That's a lot of folks have those questions. And that's why Gavin is doing a talk on what it means to be Protestant, his best-selling book, right? So guarding the gospel matters, but so does guarding the truth. And if we're going to accuse someone of compromising the faith or participating in darkness, we better be careful that we're not going to compromise honesty and truth in that process. This agreement is biblical. False witness is not. We can share the truth without assuming the worst about me. In this age obsessed with exposing darkness, which I think is good, we have to be careful we don't become reckless with the light, okay? And that's the part that's frustrating to me, is that seldom do people ask for clarity. And when people ask for clarity, I provide it. I don't have anything to hide because I'm not making millions off of these events. I'm not even making thousands off of these events. That's the hilarious part in all of it, right? And again, just do the math. 6-figure venue plus sound and lights for two stages plus flights to get everybody there at a $300 to $700 ticket plus 100 people that are still coming for free that are going to be there. This is going to be our biggest event. It'll probably be, I don't know, 600 people. I'd say last year we had around 400. This year we'll have 600 people. So I'm excited. I think this is going to be awesome. But I'm also disappointed that so many people do these sorts of things with so little due diligence and so little charity in reaching out. And so anyway, in terms of the VIP access, here are some people from last year. Okay, these are testimonials from last year of people. And the repeated theme throughout all this is, man, it's so cool how approachable all the speakers are. It's so cool that I could come up and talk to them. No one's Hollywood at this, right? And so I'll leave you guys with this. This is a recap of last year. By the way, we still have some general admission tickets available for the summit. It'll probably sell out. And we also have a virtual ticket, which will be pinned in the comment below. It's $75 for a virtual ticket. No, we're not getting rich off of that. Again, I will be happy if the virtual ticket offsets these expenses and I can break even on it. But here is some people from last year kind of showing you and giving you a glimpse into what the event is really like.
I decided to just come, not really knowing what to expect, and man, I'm so glad that I did.
You don't expect it to be so intimate, and so like the group of people that was there, I think it was great. We were able to see people who are truly seeking God. We got to see a ton of people who are special, we'll call it in the industry.
One of our major takeaways has just been how God blesses in you being faithful. A lot of Christians just want to chase after success instead of chasing faithfulness.
I think it's just been really effective how like everybody has been teaching you how they've been able to like follow Jesus and make disciples as they're going.
It's a really classy summit. I am just very impressed with the quality and the structure, and just a very classy, very nice.
As much as like we can get so much from online content, there's a huge difference between being here. None of these people are egotistical. They'll shake hands with you.
I did the sponsorship back in November and just left it in God's hands and just prepared myself if he allowed it that I would be here. Here I am.
People that you're gonna meet are amazing.
You're gonna meet friends here and you're also gonna be edified.
I'm honestly amazed at the diversity and the need.
It's a super fun time, so you guys are not going to want to miss out.